Hey, I'm Darren.
Hi, I'm Robbie.
Hi, I'm Ash.
And I'm Tess.
And we are the Little Fish team.
We hope you enjoyed the show.
Now we're going to give you some time to think and talk about it.
Yep, so we're going to give you a few moments to think and talk about some of the issues that were raised in the performance.
Usually, we'd be there with you in person and we'd hear from you directly. But as that's not possible, we're going to give you a few minutes to talk amongst yourselves. So, could the teacher please press pause now?
See you in a mo.
Welcome back.
We hope you've had time to have some really good discussions.
Here's a reminder of the main issues.
Let's see how many you got.
Bullying,
Running away.
peer pressure,
Online bullying.
the pandemic and lockdown, dangers in the city.
And there's many more.
Do you remember Nathan? But do you remember what he wanted to do with time? If you do, I want you to shout it out on the count of 3. All right? Okay, here goes. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so if you said fast forward time, then you were right.
Do you remember why he wanted to fast forward time? If you think you remember, shout your answer out on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3.
Let's do the same with Vanessa. What did she want to do with time? If you know the answer, shout it out on the count of 3. Here goes. 1, 2, 3. If you said rewind time, then you were right.
Did either feel comfortable in the present? No, they didn't. Each was experiencing difficulties and felt unable to talk about them.
And as we know, because of this, they ran away from home and took a number of risks.
We'd like you in pairs to pick a risk and talk to each other about what might have happened when they took these risks.
Press the pause button now. All right, so let's start with a question for both of you.
Do you think you did enough to keep yourself safe in the middle of a pandemic like COVID-19?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because like I was only ever going for like one walk a day with Buddy, and well, except from like when I ran away. But I always had a face mask in my pocket that I was always wearing. Well, I was wearing it, but I forgot. But then the guy in a train told me to. But I did have hand gel, which is really good to keep your hands clean. But I mean, I ran out of that though.
I was really good at my social distancing, and the only time I wasn't was when I was in the marshes with the gang and they got really close to me, so I ran away because they weren't good at the social distancing, and then I met up with Vanessa and we were really, really good at social distancing, and then we did keep forgetting.
Yeah, see, it can be so difficult. You know what, it seems like information on COVID-19 is always changing. It can be quite confusing. Trust me, I know. That's why it's so important that you listen to your teachers, your parents, or whoever looks after you. And please, stay safe.
Do you know how old Vanessa and Nathan are? How old do you have to be to buy alcohol? It's 18. Alcohol can be really damaging for a young person's growing body. Where did Vanessa get that cider from? How do we know that it's safe? Is it safe to drink from someone else's bottle? Do we see any other adults in the play drinking? How does Vanessa feel about her dad's drinking? Who could Vanessa have spoken to about her feelings rather than running away? Pause the video now and have some discussions. Feel free to rewind and rewatch the questions to make sure you can answer them all.
How old do we need to be to buy cigarettes? It's 18. But that doesn't stop them being unhealthy. They can cause disease and illness in the heart and lungs, and they're addictive too. Do we see any illegal drugs in the play? Weed, or cannabis, is an illegal drug. In the play, we see Nathan finding weed in the back of his brother's phone. Could he get into trouble for carrying this illegal drug around? Pause now and have a discussion.
Why did Vanessa run away from home? How did Gav and Gemma bully Vanessa? Bullying is a problem that's taken very seriously by teachers, if they know about it. Tell me, who else could Vanessa have spoken to about her problems? On Vanessa's journey across the city, what did she do that was unsafe? Pause the video now and discuss.
How did Nathan feel about what his brother had done? Driving under the influence of drugs or alcohol is very dangerous. What other risks did Nathan take during his journey? How could the electric fence or the pipe at Hackney Marshes have been dangerous? How did the gang know where Nathan was? If you have a phone, it could be important to switch off your location services. Talk about this with your parents or whoever looks after you. What did Nathan do that was very dangerous at the train station? What could have happened to him? How did Nathan get into the cafe? Why was this wrong? Pause the video now and discuss.
In the play, we use our bodies to represent different objects and feelings.
We're going to show you a moment from the play before Nathan runs away from home. We want you to watch us, but have a think about how what we are doing represents what Nathan is feeling. Nathan felt smothered by the words of his mother. Like a great wave was beginning to cover.
We are now going to ask the characters some questions.
If you were here, what questions would you ask Nathan and Vanessa?
Pause the video now and discuss. So now we're going to ask Vanessa some questions.
Why didn't you tell your parents about the bullying?
Well, I think my parents are really stressed at the moment. Like, my dad's really stressed working in a hospital, and he's drinking quite a lot, and then Mum gets really annoyed and they start arguing, and I just thought, if I told them something else that would stress them out, then they'd argue even more, and they might even split up or get a divorce, and then it would be all my fault.
Why did you take the bottle from the drunk guy?
I didn't really know what to do, to be honest. I just wanted him to go away, so I thought if I just took it and got on a train, then he'd go away and stop bothering me.
But you were showing off about it to Nathan.
I don't really make friends, like, people don't really like me, and my only good friend, Sabrina, has moved away, so I thought if I could, like, act cool and impress Nathan, then he'd be my friend. I'd finally have someone.
You also smoked a cigarette, didn't you?
Yeah, it was gross. Again, I kind of just thought if I did what Nathan was doing, then he'd think I was cool and he'd like me.
Why did you follow Nathan, even though he was a stranger?
Well, he's not like a proper stranger, because he's like the same age as me. So I thought, like, it's not that bad. Like, he's just a kid like me.
Does that make him safe?
Well, I mean, he did drink some of that cider and smoke cigarettes, and he had weed as well. So I guess he wasn't.
Well, thanks for answering our questions. I'd like everyone to think of one piece of advice they'd like to give Vanessa. Pause the video now.
Although we can't hear your advice, we would love for you to write it down on your evaluation forms, and we will read them all later.
Would it be all right if we gave you some advice?
Yeah.
If you didn't feel comfortable talking to your parents, you could have spoken to a teacher at school or another relative.
Violence is never the answer. When you went to hit Gemma, it did not make that situation better one bit.
You shouldn't take things from strangers.
If you really wanted to see Sabrina, you could have spoken to your parents and organised a time to visit when things are safe.
Thanks, Vanessa. Can you now think of a question you'd like to ask Nathan? Pause the video.
First question, Nathan. If your brother did a bad thing, why are you trying to be like him?
Well, you know, like when you've got like an idol or like someone that you really look up to, and they might do a bad thing, but then they say sorry and they know that they've done a bad thing, so you kind of forgive them for them and you still look up to them and you still love them just as much, and because they promise that they're never going to do it again, so you know that they're an okay person to look up to still.
Why did you drink from a bottle that wasn't yours?
I was trying to look cool. Don't think it did.
Can you think of one piece of advice that you can give to Nathan? Pause the video now.
Please make sure you write down your advice on your evaluation forms so we can read them.
One piece of advice is to check location settings on your phone and make sure people cannot track you unless you have already discussed this with the people that look after you.
Talk to your mum about other ways you can get in contact with your brother.
And if you know something is bad for you, don't pressure other people into doing it.
If you can't talk to your parents or those who look after you, you can always talk to Childline. Here's the number now. 080011111.
One more time, guys?
Yeah.
Come on, let's do it one more time. Ready? Let's do it.
080011111.
So now we want you to get into pairs. One of you will be A and the other will be B.
Person A is going to offer person B a cigarette. Person B is going to find a way of politely saying no. Press pause now and give it a go.
Okay, brilliant. So now we're gonna swap around. So now B will be offering A the cigarette and A will be saying no politely. Okay, press pause.
Okay, great work. Now we're going to do it again, but this time person A is going to be offering person B some cider. Press pause and give it a go now.
I guess you know what's coming. Person B will now be offering person A some cider. Press pause now.
Great. So now everyone has practiced saying no to cigarettes and alcohol.
We're hoping that in real life, when someone offers you cigarettes or alcohol, you know what to do.
We're coming to the end of our video.
Hopefully next time we'll be able to be with you in person.
Remember, if you can't talk to a parent or teacher, you can always talk to Childline.
Please fill out your evaluation forms and write down all your thoughts and feelings about the piece.
Your teachers will send them back to us, which means we can continue to make our work the best it can possibly be and come back to your school soon.
Thank you very much.
And from us here at Little Fish, goodbye!